There have been a lot of changes, a lot to go through. I think we should just start at the beginning from where we left off. I didn't upload anything from weeks 12 or 13 of the iRacing Season 1. Of iRacing Season 1, and that's because I spent Season 12 scrounging up safety rating for the promotion, and I didn't do anything at all in Season 13 or in Week 13 with iRacing because I spent all of that time in Le Mans Ultimate, and I also I don't like Week 13 in iRacing in general. So if you also recall, if you were interested in iRacing itself, you already know the race for Week 12, the VRS Endurance, the GT3 series that week was at COTA. And the big difficult thing at COTA is, of course, that they go through the track limits F1 style. So if you get half of your car over onto the curb, that's an off track. And it's such a track like COTA, and especially in a GT3 series, that seems so ridiculous because of how much runoff there is and how much more should be accessible to that car, because any series that car would be racing in would use much more runoff. But anyway, that is that. We spent that time really just going up and down a little bit. There were some pretty awful moments where we would get hit. Once we got hit before the race even started on the outlap, on the pace lap, and it was just like, what the hell? And so there was a moment in time where it didn't look like we were going to get a promotion, but we did. We got our road license, which is now a split license, into an A. So we are an A driver at the end of Season 1, and as you can tell, we were laps into this race, and we haven't even mentioned it. I've also taken up some oval racing, and here we are in the ARCA series. Week 1, Homestead, Miami. Absolutely loving it. This race was amazing. I'm going to be chasing down these guys. You can see now we're cutting forward to me reeling them in. It's really hard to show reeling someone in, the chase, over a period of laps. It's really easy to show when they make a mistake and you pass them. It's really easy to show the moment of the pass itself, but it's really hard to effectively show the excitement of reeling in another car for a long period of time in a really satisfying battle. And that's really what's going to be going on through these next few laps, is that we're pulling ourselves up through the pack here, and a little bit of beginner's luck, and a little bit of the only type of person that would race like this would be a beginner. At least in my boots, I would have to have a little bit of a lack of confidence. I think in these cars is a little bit of importance. When I get too confident in this Gen 4 ARCA Menards or ARCA series car, I instantly lose that rear end. It's just so on the flick of a wrist. It really is improving, I think, my overall driving ability and skill. So I'm really enjoying that from ovals in and of itself, but it's just been an amazing addition, especially after this first race. This was the peak, the first race I did. This was like Monday, right when the season started. This is what this race came in from, and I'm going to be gone for the weekend. So this week was a shortened week for me, and I really focused on the oval. So let's look at this. I have a graphic here of what I'll be racing for this next 12-week season. The white tracks, the tracks in white are ones that are already owned. The ones that are in blue are ones that I'm planning on potentially purchasing, and then the green ones are the ones I'll skip. And so we could see here for week 1, really focused on the ARCA series at Homestead, Miami, because that was a purchase track and it was a ton of fun. I did get my required race at Suzuka. It went pretty poorly, if I'm being frank. The reason why maybe you're not seeing it. But as you see, we'll go into next week. I am probably going to end up purchasing Sebring, not Interlagos, as you can see. And I'm going to skip Iowa for the ARCA series because I'm not going to be able to race all of the tracks in the ARCA series, and so we just had to prioritize. And you can see what choices that I did make over others. And I, for instance, wanted to go it ended up putting Homestead Miami to Iowa head-to-head, so to say, and against Auto Club and Bristol and Texas, and there was just no way that I was going to pick Iowa over any of those. So that's the plan for the ARCA series. IMSA, you can see our calendar is actually lined up pretty well. We have, a good portion of those tracks, most of those tracks, and the ones that we have to buy are pretty great. And then, of course, the asterisks are going to have multiple use. And the only race that I'm really going to focus on in the GT3 category is the Le Mans race, and I'm going to do the endurance, all of the endurance races, both of the endurance races, Saturday and Sunday for Le Mans, the 3 hours in GT3. But beyond that, really focused on ARCA series, quite frankly, a lot more than I had anticipated. I was not expecting that, and I think as the season progresses, the excitement for IMSA will grow as I perform better, because our intro to IMSA has been pretty disappointing really quickly, and I think it was just an issue with time more than anything else. If I had more time to do more practice and to get more races in, I think it would have been a lot more fun, but we kind of got our butts kicked, kind of made some silly mistakes as well. And here we can see, just on this last lap, I'm just trying to nail this high line, and I do through corners 1 and 2 here, as you can see. That's the best part about this track, is that not only can you run the high line, it's viable in terms of what is actually faster and what isn't. And we push our luck a little bit too much here, and of course if you're that close to the wall when you're pushing your luck, you're going to end up tapping it. But so that was our first race in the ARCA Menards series. Week 1 is down, IMSA and our ARCA series, so that's really exciting. Really looking forward to Season 2, and I hope you guys are having a great iRacing Season 2 as well.